Here we are in the center of Sardinia, on the mountains, and here we find a giant's grave of the more classical type. It's called the dolmen type. As you can see, there's a big slab of stone in the center with cornices. I would guess it's about 4 meters high, maybe a little bit less. And it's massive, really a massive piece of stone. There's a lot of wind, I hope you can hear something. And then there's a series of other stones on the side. Apparently the spirits here don't like me filming because the wind has gotten worse than it used to be. Anyway, the stones on the side, which creates some sort of two wings, which are not straight but are slightly curved. You see, they do a slight curve. And the central slab has a small opening. And beyond the opening there is a room. Now I'll show you the room because I cannot pass through here. That's just about 50 centimeters high. It's too low for me. Anyway, as you can see, the size is really big. I'm almost 2 meters high. This is about twice as much as I am. And let's go behind. There's a series of horizontal slab making the covering of this corridor, which is supposed to be the place where the giants were engraved, but as I said in a previous video, it's actually more like a ceremonial place for the people doing for the dead. After they were dead, they were put here for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, to allow them to go in the world of the dead. Anyway, these are the huge slabs covering the top. And differently from what I showed you a couple of days ago, in Sedilo this is rough. It's granite, it's not basalt, it's granite, and it's really roughly carved, but still impressive construction, as the stones are really big, I'd guess. Certainly more than 2 or 3 tons. And there's not one of them, there's several of them. I'll show you the slabs from the top. Well, these are all, I guess, 4 or 5 ton slabs, because they're 2 meters by more than 1 by half a meter thick. And here's the whole thing from the back. And around here you can see a lot of beautiful mountains. We are entering today in a mountainous area of Sardinia with peaks up to 1800 meters. It's really impressive. Beautiful. I've seen 2 more like these up north in Gallura, which is another region of Sardinia, and they really look quite the same, with the cornices, the big slabs, and it's one of the 2 types of giant's graves that you find in Sardinia. Now actually I'd say there's a 3rd type, which I had never seen before. This is the opening from the other side. As I was saying, the type I showed you in Sedilo, I have never seen something like that. I mean, usually the only constructions I've seen which are precisely carved to fit the stones one next to the other were holy wells, whereas in Sedilo we found 2 giant's graves in a very bad condition, but still very nicely carved. You could see that the slabs originally were really carved to fit one another in a perfect way. The weird thing is that the main slab, which is, yeah, 8 tons, maybe more, has required a lot of work to be cut and brought here. And the side stones are somehow adapted to it, but it's not symmetrical. It's not, I mean, what surprises me is that they had the technology to cut this huge slab of granite, carve it out, bring it here, put it vertically, and apparently they didn't have the technology to make it symmetrical. So that raises the question whether or not it was intentional to make it as symmetrical. As you can see on the right side, it's more rounded than on the left side. Then of course there are cracks now because it's really old, but still, yeah, that's a question I'm always wondering about. And it's not the only one I've seen like this. They almost, you see, the idea was to make a symmetrical piece of stone, but it is not. So, well, I just leave it there. It's a question to think about.